Georgetown. Yellow is ODU. Looks like Georgetown with a 1-2 combo right now. Nicely balanced earlier in the race at the windward mark.
All right, let's switch back and forth, mate. So, John, now we have two cameras on the action.
Cool. So,
feel free to tell me which race you're following.
Following the black and the yellow right now. That's Georgetown in black and Old Dominion in yellow. Georgetown's got a 1-2 combo. Are you following the same race?
I'm on the red and blue teams.
Okay.
Who is that?
Red and blue is Michigan in blue, Texas A&M in red.
Texas A&M and Michigan battling it out.
So the red and the blue are on their first beat. Meanwhile, the black boats from Georgetown are rounding the leeward mark, about to head upwind. They've got a nice solid 1-2 combo against Old Dominion.
And bring me up to speed one more time. Our blue sails are Michigan out there or Texas A&M?
Blue sails are Michigan, red sails are Texas A&M. It looks like a tight race actually right now, pretty even across the board.
If you're new out there, you're new to team racing. So am I. Michigan in the blue, Texas A&M in the red.
I'm on him right now. I want to see what the color is.
Yeah, it looks like the Michigan in blue, they clearly have the 1. But aside from that, they also have the deep 6.
They're pretty spread out there, John.
They are.
Somebody's way off the back there for Michigan.
Yep, that's called the deep 6, and that makes it pretty tough for Michigan to put together a good combination here. The Texas A&M team in red needs to focus on converting that into a 2-3-4 in the middle of the course there.
What's the plan when you attack from the back? Is that a play you call out?
You know, really the play right now is it's a play 2 for red, I believe, and well, actually, no, that might have just changed. I think red just got the 1, so they're probably going to play 1. You'll see some of the teams will stick to a more disciplined approach. Some of the teams might do a little bit more of a loose approach. I think we're seeing a pretty loose approach here from Texas A&M.
They're a little bit back in the mix. They slowed them down and that boat caught up.
Yep. We'll see. They're about to approach Mark 1, and we'll see as they round the mark what the actual combination is. A lot will change right there. Georgetown is still firmly in command of the black and yellow race.
So that's
looks like for the red and the blue up there, we've got Michigan in the blue with a 2-3-4 combo in the lead. 2-3-4 for Michigan.
John, I know you recently downloaded the Livestream app onto your iPhone.
Yeah, you just go in the App Store on your phone or your iPad, type in Livestream. It's a free download, and you just have to sign up for Livestream if you haven't already, and you can watch all this stuff live. You have a lot of other cool stuff from like a Volvo Ocean Race last time around. That's pretty cool on there.
So download that app if you don't have it. Tell your friends about it, and our viewership is climbing pretty much every half hour here. We're seeing a big bump in viewership, so thanks for tuning in.
Michigan looking firmly in control of this red versus blue race.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. It looks like, yeah. I'm gonna switch back to the next race coming up the course. Looks to be also a 1, 2. So we're seeing some blowouts here. Looks like that's Charleston with a 1, 2 combo.
A little bit of a smoke show going on out there for some of these top teams.
Against Navy. Charleston just totally blowing out Navy. That's a bit of a demoralizer for Navy. They had just put on a great win earlier in the day. I believe they beat St. Mary's in a close one. Charleston is not impressed. They don't really care. They're going to put together a nice 1, 2 right now.
I mean, with this current level of competition, really almost every team is in it. There was a long road just to get here, wasn't it, John?
Oh, certainly. I mean, you have to qualify out of your conference championship, and different conferences get different numbers. So Charleston qualified out of the South Atlantic. They had 2 teams out of the South Atlantic, and them and USF. So Charleston's perpetually an excellent team racing team. Powerhouse pro.
We have 2 teams lining up for a start right now. Nick, who's in the yellow and black? St. Mary's in the yellow and Wisconsin in black. A couple boats kind of breaking away here.
Yeah, Dan, St. Mary's is looking pretty good in yellow right now. They're firmly in control of the back 2 pairs and fighting it out for that front pair. So it's shifty, though. Seeing a lot of roll tacks in the back of the fleet there. Trying to gain a little advantage.
Maybe a little down cycle and breeze here. Still very good, but just a little lighter. Definitely St. Mary's looking strong there.
Got 1 pair launched out in front.
Looks like St. Mary's in yellow is getting close to a 2-3-4 there.
Yeah, very about to solidify here once 5 gets across 11.
A pretty spread out 2-3-4 though. A lot of gap between 2 and 3. Now off camera on the other side, looks like Tufts has a 1-2 against Stanford. So that's a race with some big implications. It's the blue and the red there, just around the leeward mark. Tufts in blue.
John, we're joined here with the Wisconsin coach. What do you see? What's going on? What do you like about your team out there?
We've obviously got some speed with George Kuchenreiter out there. We got the 1.56, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see if George can pull off this mark trap. While we got a second while it condenses, a huge shout out to Connor Trepton, who I know is listening right now, one of our skippers who got a hernia just before leaving for the trip. So we wish you all the best, and hopefully you can get back on the mend quickly. Thanks for getting us here.
We've got one sitting out watching at home, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, it was the day before we started our journey here. He went in and found out he got a little bit of an injury, and we had to sit him out. So we wish him the best.
That's a tough break. What year is he?
He is a junior.
Junior, so he'll be back next year.
Absolutely.
And you can hold this if you like.
Oh.
So talk me through the mark rounding.
Right up in there? All right. Well, George obviously wanted to push around, dropped the 1, which was good. He'd been pushing the 1 the whole way through, so now we've got the 2 obviously trying to push the 5-6 forward. George is probably the best on our team to get this done here. So he's got to obviously get himself down so he can get inside, turn his boat up, make sure that nobody has overlap on him, and then stop the race course, let our 5-6 get back into the race, and then hopefully we can push forward on the downwind. Something that we've been working on a lot this season.
Not a lot of people think of sailing as a team sport. What's it take to build a good team in the sport of sailing?
Well, fortunately for us, our team is a sport team. I just found a fun fact out this morning that our women's team was actually the only club sport team to make it all the way to the finals. And our student leaders run the entire show. I stand in and coach, help make some roster decisions, move forward with any type of initiatives that the student leaders come up with. But we've got Mike Lee, who's out on the water right now, as well as Whitney Kent, our 2 team captains that are constantly running on how to make this team up to the next place, and we make sure that everybody's got all the student leadership positions taken care of, running budgets, all that good stuff. So that really develops a big team.
That's great. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it, mate. That's cool. Give me your stick with the most.
That I can do. The fur cover?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah, they recovered well.
You
there.
guys can roll with commentary?
With this camera?
Yep.
All right, should we zoom in on Tufts and Stanford? Tufts in blue, Stanford in red up the last beat, heading towards the finish. They don't have much time left. They're at the last third of the upwind here. Tufts had a 1-2 not too long ago, but not sure what the combo is anymore. Plus, there was a red flag on Tufts. Red flag for Tufts. Stanford is now 2-3-5 potentially. Stanford's maybe going to turn that into a 2-3-4. Stanford and the Redboats.
Yeah.
Live here at the 2014 Team National College Championships. I'm with Emily from Michigan. Emily, tell me about yourself. What's your first, last name, and who do you sail for?
I'm Emily Gazelle, and I sail for the University of Michigan.
That's great. And so tell me about the road to St. Mary's. How did you guys end up here?
Well, we did pretty well at our co-eds and our team race qualifiers, and so that led to us ending up here, which was good. Our women's team didn't do quite as well, but that's okay.
It's windy here. What are your thoughts on the first day of racing here at the Team Champs?
I think our team is doing really well. We haven't put our heavy crews in yet, but that's okay.
So really, you haven't gone with the heavies yet. You're still sailing with the medium weight crews?
Yeah, we thought about putting the heavies in, but I think that the heavy air hasn't been consistent enough for us to put in the really heavy people yet.
And I know that you guys have had a couple of step closer, Emily. I know that you've had a couple of close races so far. You've challenged quite a few teams.
Yeah, we have, which is good. I think our team is really moving along quite well.
What year are you?
I just finished my sophomore year.
What do you like about college sailing?
I like all the people that I've met and all the places that I get to travel. I think there's a lot of good opportunities and a lot of room for learning. So
that's great. Anything you want to say to the people back home?
Go Blue.
Thanks. Go Blue. Take a little bit of a pause in action, and we're waiting for some people to come on by the studio here for interviews. We're going to line them up. Stay with us here at the College Champs, Team Champs. We're all Michigan? Yes, sir. You're next. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and what do you like about St. Mary's?
My name is Chris Sear. I'm one of the co-captains of the University of Michigan. I'm one of the younger skippers, so sitting on land for today, acting as a heavy crew that they haven't put in just yet. Loving the venue yet. We got perfect weather. Very productive morning. I mean, we are 9 races into a full round robin, and it looks like we might get it done today, so that'd be pretty cool.
That's an amazing amount of races, over 120 races, is that right?
Yes, 120 races, exactly. So we'll be sitting on land, hanging out, watching the races. Next one's up against Yale, which is a big one for us. Last time we faced them, we won, so hoping to do the same thing, even though they're 8-1 and we're 4-5 right now.
Yale is 8-1, you're 4 and what?
5. So they're winning right now, and we are mid-fleet, I think, in 9th. And so this would be a big win, a big turnaround for us if this happened.
So you guys are keeping it close, you're keeping it competitive.
Yep, our goal is to hit the top half, going to the Elite 8 for tomorrow, and we're still in the game, and beating Yale would definitely help us out.
Well, of course, there's some downtime in sailing. How do you pass the time?
Downtime on land, go over the rule book, especially when we're here. There's always something to argue about, Everyone pulls the rule books out, complains about who's winning. Take your shoes out, put them on land, act them as boats. Besides that, I mean, there's plenty of competitive racing to watch here, and there's always a race going on, so we've kept pretty busy on land.
It's you're definitely a sailor if you're arguing rules.
Absolutely.
Any good debates today?
We've seen the black flag a couple of times, and haven't seen the verdict on some of them. Some of them gone to the protest room, and they've already heard protests, but Michigan has seen 2 black flags today, neither of which have gone into protests, neither of which have stars in the results. So we're waiting to see if the umpires come to us at the end of the day, or if we're going to go to the protest room and what's going to happen. So still waiting to hear on that.
How long you been a sailor?
Oh, I was born into it. I've been competitively sailing since 8 years old. Went through high school, went through college, and here I am now.
I was filming at the Youth Champs in Newport in 2011. What class were you sailing in?
420s.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
And where's your boat from?
My boat's from, it was from Grosse Pointe, Michigan. So, quite the drive, but great regatta. Narragansett Bay is always fun.
I think it rained that year.
Oh, yeah, it rained a lot.
Of course, we're broadcasting worldwide, live on the internet. Kids are tuning in from all over the world. What do you have to say to them to inspire them to become sailors?
I mean, start sailing young. If you didn't start sailing young, get into college sailing, and that's the best kind of sailing you can do. I mean, a lot of kids come into this ahead. They sail all these national events all through high school, but it's never too late. You come to college, even if it's not a top school. Michigan's not a top sailing school, and here we are at nationals. So there's always time to get back into the sport of sailing.
Congratulations. Keep up. And, come on by and tell us about how it goes.
Will do. Go Blue.
Go Blue. We are live. I'm Dan.
Chris.
Hey, Chris. Nice to see you, Dan Egan.
Cool. Yeah, funny to see that Michigan sitting right next to Wisco, but
I know you guys seem to be very friendly.
yeah, we're doing some Midwest bonding.
People seem pretty chipper right now. We were on the water and had some cameras in people's faces, and there were a lot of smiles and I don't know, giggles from from people. So I think maybe this round people are not feeling the pressure quite as much as they will in the next few days. But looking forward to that.
Everything builds towards championship Monday. Today's day one, so yeah, there's a bit of a relaxed atmosphere as things have gotten going.
A little bit of a relaxed atmosphere. You're certainly seeing people stress out over a few bad races because that can come back to bite teams. Considering how deep this team race nationals is this year.
It's gone pretty quick. The round robin seems to be flying.
It really is flying. They're doing a fantastic job, it seems, on the race course. We were out there. They were able to pick up the starting line in 2 minutes, move and get a race off. Just really, really quickly. It's very impressive.
Well, keep us in tune. Let us know if you're back on the water, and check in anytime, Rebecca.
Okay. You pick up my call.
Rebecca Delabar, everybody, from Laser Performance. We're on the starting line as we get ready to resume racing, kick off again. And Nick's going to let us know who's up next.
Yeah, it's going to be St. Mary's, Wisconsin, starting us off here, race 71.
Race 71, the hometown team is lining up on the line. What color are they going to be as the hometown?
Let me check the binos. The race course has shifted slightly. Things are a little bit further away with the breeze going right, a little more east in it. Just had about a 30-minute break on land, let people regroup.
Some of those puffs seem real, man. Team's tuning up.
Yeah, breeze up to probably 12 knots out there. Everybody's going to be on the rail, shoulders out. It's Boston College in pink. In green, the Huskies of University of Washington.
Now, team racing is a co-ed sport, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
So we have some women's skippers and some men's skippers.
Yeah, and for Boston College, Erica Reinecke driving in boat 9, owning the right side.
And
she tacks off to lead the pack right.
Erica, who had a fairly decent women's championship, but not on top of the leaderboard as one might expect.
Nope, but she's looks like right now on to the next event, and with BC with a pretty solid start to the national championship team race.
How are they looking overall, Nick?
They're blowing the Huskies out right now.
They've had a fairly good morning.
Yeah, let me see where they sit overall.
Here's a little interesting fact. My dad was on the first 1950 sailing team at Boston College.
Yeah, that program has really dominated in the last 8 years on a lot of different levels.
Anybody out there that part of the early days of Boston College sailing, let us know. Team 1950, Bob Egan. It's like a pretty solid race going on out there, Nick.
Yeah. BC's solid 1-2. Not in last as well. What we often call an ace, so you have like an ace up your sleeve when you're not in last. So ace in the hole.
Nick, you keep talking about having the big picture in team racing. It's important to see the overall picture of what's going on in the water, yeah?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely in team racing, really easy to get caught just looking one-on-one against your nearest opponent, but that's when the crews come in and really give a wider perspective, and just keep you knowing where you are on the race course and how the pairs are coming together, who's winning what pair. A lot of information needs to get shared.
You're at the top mark.
Yeah, BC 125 over the Huskies of University of Washington.
What up?
Mr. Pierce.
A little gossip.
Are you able to talk?
Gossip.
No. I didn't want to interrupt, but can you talk?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
No, Nick.
We're talking. We're on.
I know, so I'll keep my mouth shut unless you let me talk.
Oh, you're going to get interviewed. If you come you sit in that chair, you're going to get
Chair. If
interviewed.
you want to come by and be interviewed, here's our spot.
No, I don't.
You don't- we're running. They're running from the cameras here in St. Mary's.
Yeah. Are you all working together?
Yeah. I mean, Dan's in charge, but we're just having a little color commentary where we can.
Yeah. You, Nick, and
Good fun. Good start.
Dan, you want to check in on that next race?
We're going in on the next race. Nick, tell us what's going on.
All right. Going up the beat, we have the Naval Academy in Old Dominion.
What colors are they?
We got Old Dominion looking on top in blue.
ODU's in blue. And who are they
ODU.
racing?
We keep seeing an ODU team. Anytime the breeze is up and they're in the FJs, they're going fast.
That's their home boat out down there?
Yep.
They're going to change anytime soon with the new Z420?
No, I think they're pretty happy with their FJs, happy to be one fleet venue. Maybe someday they'll get a few, but they're I think they're happy with what they got. Their boats are in good condition. Yeah, so ODU rounding in the 1, looks like they're going to be 1-2-6, which in this, shifty venue, not that ideal, not as stable as it as a 1-2-5. The difference that last bow is pretty significant. A little bit of insurance for the 1-2.
So you don't really want to be off the back, as we see the ODU sailor is. How do they bring them back into the mix?
Well, for ODU, they're got to get on the offensive. So you see right away, boat 1 sailing high, trying to get on their breeze. Now, putting 17 in a tough spot, they can sail extra distance and keep their breeze forward of boat 1, or they can allow them to get a little bit of disturbed air and perhaps sneak low for a little bit. But in general, looking downwind, power is to the left, because by getting to the left of someone, perhaps can jibe onto starboard and then have the advantage on them.
So they've let that last place boat catch up, so to speak.
Yeah, you can see down low, people are moving wing on wing directly towards the mark, whereas 17 sailing a bit high, jib reaching high, getting into a little bit of a one-on-one battle here, but getting vulnerable low. So ODU could have to have a play change here and may just be sliding straight into that going into a play 4. The problem is that their last place boat is still quite deep. They were deep, but still charging low, going directly wing on wing.
He may have gotten back in the mix, though.
Yeah, I'd say they are. They came inside one-on-one, but they won the battle and looks to be extending now. Anytime they get pressure, they seem to be, I'm talking about boat 17. I think that's sophomore from Southern California, Esteban Ferrer. Going quite well, and ODU is looking to have been converted into a 145.
145. We prefer that than 126. Is that right?
No, I think you'd prefer 126, but that's not quite in the cards for ODU here. They're 145, and you'll see 17 is going to start gapping because the 145 is going to be a lot more solid with the gap. Now midshipmen are going to get the 2-3 going and slow the race down. This is their opportunity to really slow the race down. You can see they're doing that well on the outside. Seems like their 2, though, just got caught going too fast. I don't know how much of a part they're going to play in this condense. ODU, meanwhile, pushing backwards, so we have two sets of boats trying to go as slow as possible. ODU finally successfully pushes the 2-3 around. ODU rounding mark 3 and 4, 145 with a pretty good gap and still strong control in the back. It's a good race.
A lot going on there, Nick.
Yeah, really good race. Navy doing a good job here at Mark 4. Big slowdown of ODU's 4. Now they set up for the slam dunk and are pretty well balanced and in good positioning. Looks like ODU, Esteban in the back, stops gapping. He's just going to push forward. Risky. Risky for ODU. Going to push forward here. Meanwhile, ODU's 1 is too far away, in my opinion. Navy a little bit closer while ODU stops gapping. Esteban's just saying, I'm going to pass you myself. Meanwhile, again, I think the 1 is just, they got to be a factor. It's tough because Navy guys are doing a good job with a balanced play back here. And the 1 doesn't know where to go here.
Yeah, Nick, this is John. I don't know if I'm on live right now or not, but
I sure hope so. We got a barn burner here.
I wish the 1 had committed a little earlier to this side.
Just hasn't been a part. Hasn't been a part of it at all here.
If the 1 had given a little dirty air to boat 3, Blue would be out of here, no problem.
You can see the gap is gone. ODU run charging, or sorry, Navy, who was in last year in boat 1, is charging, going to try and be the 2.
And the Navy team in boat 3, I think that's Michael Grove skippering there. They were rock stars there holding that pin that whole time.
Said it was risky, and here we go. Navy's 2, 3, 4, pretty solid, if not better. Big righty coming in. Everybody's overstood with this righty. Am I right?
Yeah, these guys are certainly overstood. I'm a little confused. The down at the far side of the course, the red boat to leeward of Navy is still playing back really hard. Seems like they could go fast forward at this point.
Well, he's getting desperate. Everybody way down speed on those left foursome. That's where the race is going to be won, because the rightmost pair, Navy's in full command with them overstood. So
still a horse race here.
Oh, it's flip of a coin here.
I still like Navy. They seem to have a solid or lock on 2 pairs.
The whole race course, we're running out of it. Everybody's going to be on the starboard tack lay line.
Navy.
Who wants to put a bet in? This is going to be decided by the umpires here.
Navy did a nice job there.
Oh,
balancing it out. I think they're pretty solid now. 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, you're right. Far right's just going to burn it out. Full command.
Big props to Navy. That was solid. They pulled that together nicely. ODU, that's a lesson for you younger team racers who are watching out there. If you're in the 1 and the banana is splitting, the 2, 3, 6 is going after your team, you got to commit one side or the other. Cover somebody.
Yeah, and also I thought that ODU was in full command though. You're rounding Mark 4. They're 145 with the gap, and sure, yeah, maybe their 1 got caught far away, but there was a moment where they stopped gapping and tried to play through.
Yeah, you're right. Who was that stopped gapping? Do you know?
I don't want to say.
The fans want to know. All right.
If the fans were watching, if the fans were really watching, they saw.
Yeah, I agree. Stick to the play. If you're in a 145 and you're the 5, keep gapping. Don't stop until it's over. Good race, though. Very good race.
All right, man. Thanks.
Nick, you know, you mentioned the umpires. I just went and got some good gossip. Apparently, there have been some controversial umpire calls on the water. We've had a couple of yellow flags. They're never popular.
Oh, wow.
So a few hearings were actually taking place on land, and you know, I think the Georgetown and Navy race that Georgetown won was reversed, and Navy takes the win on that one.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Can you drive that iPad?
I'm going to drive the iPad.
I think I said in the beginning, if you expect me to be able to read a rotation, just can't do it. Not part of my skill set.
And then I think Stanford may have felt that they were wronged by a race committee call or two. So I heard from some coaches, some unhappy coaches.
So some controversy out on the water, Johnny.
Yeah.
Always
you
gonna
know,
be.
Really, when you're umpiring, you have the red and the green flag. Those are the ones you want to use because they're definitive. And even if you get it wrong occasionally, that happens in every sport, right? You see it in basketball.
Well,
football.
These kids, young men and women, they know how to play this game at a really, really high level, and they are making it really hard all the time on the umpires. They keep things really close, have a really high standard for what room to keep clear is, and so they keep it tight on each other.
Yep. I still think the umpires, just don't use the yellow flag, because the yellow flag, then you come in on land,
It's
you have
tough.
to have a hearing. And
Gotta explain to the crowd, John, what a yellow flag is.
It's a yellow flag on the end of usually a wooden pole, and the umpire's going to fly that when they did not see the situation play out, or they maybe there's conflicting opinion between the two umpires in the boat, and they're not sure what the call should have been. So then they throw the yellow flag, and you come in and you have a hearing on land, which then usually the facts get even more confused during the hearing on land. So you're better off just throwing either the red or the green. That's what the players want. That's what the coaches want. They want a definitive answer. That way when you cross the finish line, the race is over, and it's either won or lost, fair and square.
Yeah.
So it's a jury flag, basically. They come in and
I like to defend.
a little bit of a protest.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what it is, a protest. And I like to defend the umpires, but we have 9 motorboats out, or I don't know how many motorboats we have out here.
Hundreds.
And we're fully umpired, I believe. I think.
I think it's 2 per race.
Okay.
So that's not quite fully.
Okay, then never mind.
Still partial.
Statement I was about to say, I take back.
Nick, tell us what's going on out there right now.
Awesome racing, epic conditions. It's really nice sailing and tight so far, and it's great to see some of the teams that we weren't expecting having some great races.